Chica, tú, que va a Hello, good evening, everyone. We are here in our channel. We are here in our channel OCHAREO to talk about the ODUN or the UNLE, the Dibere in Ifa. MAFEREFUN CHANGO cabecilla la ciego in this ODUN. OBATALA. Elegua. Orumila. It's a great ODUN, but we need always to attend Egun. Because this is one of the ODUN that had a great prayer, that is the prayer of the 7 powers of Africa. So this is the ODUN that the person was born with a good luck and money. This is the ODUN that all the people that I know that they have this ODUN and they do everything that they are supposed to do in their life, they are so successful because they are a lucky person. I call myself this ODUN the lucky ODUN because even though you have problems in life, you overcome any single obstacle that you have. But you need always to lean on Egun overall. And Ego goes to help you with everything that you need to accomplish. That's why in this ODUN it's important the masses. The first thing that you are supposed to do if you have this ODUN, even though it's not in your head, even though you have this ODUN maybe in Obatala or Ochun, for example, it's always to do the masses at home. So the masses for the people that have this ODUN is so important. And in your bóveda, you are supposed to put 7 red roses. So that represent each one the 7 powers of Africa. Or the UNLE is the ODUN that you are supposed to do sometime a mass with 7 mediums. But what happened that most of the time we don't find 7 people to do the mass and that all of them be mediums. But you can do it with your family members, with your kids, for example. And what you do, you can give the note prayer, the prayer book for each one of them, and then each one read different prayers. And with that, you accomplish that. Because sometimes we don't have red rose, yes, Ache, Irene. Sometimes you don't have 7 people, so you distribute that and each one read one prayer, and with that is enough for the mass. Something else that you can do when we talk about the spirits of the 7 powers of Africa is that you can do 7 consecutive weeks some masses. For example, this Sunday you do the mass and the following one, and in each of them you put the 7 roses for anything that you want. This is the ODUN also that we are supposed to work with Egun. It's the ODUN that we feed Egun because Egun is so important in the UNLE. Some people, because the Patakines that we're going to see today, in one of them talk about the battle between the Yorubas and Congos, but it doesn't matter. So you can attend Egun if you have for example, your Sarabanda or your Siterayo, you can attend them too, because it's the 7 powers. So in your life, you will do different ceremonies that you need. Even though you, for example, crown Ocha, you will need, in the case, for example, of men to receive or sign, the women to receive the Waeru or sign. Also, you can receive an Orisha. So there are different steps in your life that you are supposed to accomplish. If you have, for example, your Awofaka or Ikofa or Orumila, this is important for you to attend. Because Orumila, he goes to provide you with knowledge in your life. So it's important to attend Orula too, because most of the time when we receive our Orumila, the people don't attend it anymore. It's right there in the corner, and you don't attend Orumila. This is something that is important. It's the original too that you sometimes with palm oil and honey. Okay, attend you Orumila. This is the Odun that talk about the sky, the ocean, and the earth. So in this Odun, we feed the sky with 3 pigeons. But what the person is supposed to do is three plays. For this ceremony in particular, you need a priest. Could be an Oriate or the Babalago, because we do in different ways, but it's the same thing. And then you put the 3 plays. It's 3 white pigeons that you need for this ceremony, and different jicaras we put with, for example, food, like when we prepare egg, and then we feed egg with that 3 pigeons. This is to strengthen your egg, that this is something that you need. When we go to feed, for example, the sea, we put 7 jicaras with a ku, a ya, aguado, for example, palm oil, honey, and other. It's different jicaras, but we feed each of them with 7 roosters. So we use 7 roosters for 1 rooster for each jicara. And then another day is to feed the earth. It's another ceremony. But what I do recommend you don't have to do this ceremony the same day or the same week. Like some people do, because they say, okay, I do it and that's it. It's good for me. No, try to do the ceremony during a year. For example, in the beginning of the year, you can do a ceremony for the sky. If the weather allows you to do that, because there are places that is still cold and maybe you cannot do this ceremony. And then you do the other one. And then in the middle, for example, around June, you do the second one to feed the sea. That in the sea, you need to put shells, you need to put different things that represent the ocean. And then with the 7 jicaras and all of that. And then at the end of the year, you feed the earth, or the ceremony with the spirits. With that is enough. You don't have to repeat the ceremony anymore. You do just one to receive the blessing of the 7 spirits of each position, because in the sky there are 7 spirits that help you, and also from the ocean and from the earth. So you need to do that to strengthen your ego, to be able to fight when people send any witchcraft to you, when they curse you, or have even bad knowledge, bad intention, about you. With that, you your ego fight for you. That's why we are supposed to feed ego in the different position. This is something that is great in this order. Remember that in the 7 power of Africa, you have a great ego that was born with you, but you need to work with, because some people have this order and they get something that they want, and after a while they lose everything. Yes, they lose because they don't work with the ego, and it's not to get something in life, it's to keep it. It's the most important thing that we can do. When we get something, keep it. So to avoid all of that, it's important to you to feed ego, prepare first spiritually, after that ego, and we continue with the rest of the ceremony. Because first of all is the spirits and ego. If you work with it and you develop your spirituality through the masses and working with ego, you will see that you don't have any problem. Because in this Odun, the UNLE, he was hunting. He liked to hunt. But Chakwana, Babalua ye, asked him for an etu, the guinea hen. And he forgot about that. He continued hunting and doing everything that he likes to do, and he forgot about Chacuana. So one day that he was hunting in the forest at night, he was so tired and he wanted to sleep. So he saw the trunk of wood, and he said, okay, let me get in and to sleep until the morning. But he didn't know that in this piece of trunk lived the eggum, Huele Osakule ya, that it was the bad eggum. So when he get into the trunk, this eggum closed both sides of the trunk and carry him. Of course, he tried to escape, but he couldn't. So he started to sing inside the trunk. In his way, this eggum, he made a lot of money because he told everyone in different villages, you see, I had the piece of trunk dancing, and it was ODUN that was inside that trunk. So until one day, they arrived to the land of Chango and Oya. And Chango, as soon he listened the song from that trunk, said, this is a libre that he's singing inside that. That is not the trunk dancing. And then Oya, she became in the afefe, in the wind, and she created the stone at that moment. So that Egun got afraid and he left. So Chango and Oya liberate a Dibre and told him, you know, you need to do everything that you are supposed to do now with Chacuana. So he went to the next to the tree of the cat down, and he filled with stew etu a Chacuana over there, Babaluaye, and that is another day that he had. And after that, he cooked the 2 hens and put under the bed. And in the morning, he didn't see the etus. So he saw Chacuana came to get the etus. So in this order, it's important to feed also Babaluaye. If you have any promise to this Oricha, you are supposed to do it. Because if not, you will have problem with him. Also, you are not supposed to do camping, for example, and sleep in the forest. You need to be careful when you go in camping, or you go to another house, for example, and you sleep in the house. You need to be sure that it's a place that is safe for you. Because this order advise you that you could be a slave of someone. You can become the slave of Egun. Any bad Egun could attach to you, and you will see how your life change automatically. So when you feel something wrong with you that is abnormal, the best thing that you can do is prepare a bath with different herbs of Egun, for example, like Paraíso, Siguaraya, Muralla, for example, Quitamaldición, Yagruma is so good, Almácigo too. You prepare a bath with all of that. You add some cascarilla, honey, holy water, and a lot of efun. And then you take at least 3 baths. Later, if you feel in the same way, so you go for divination to know what happened with you because you feel something wrong. That's why the person that has this odun, we recommend that when you go to any party of Palo Mayombe, for example, try when you finish to have the bath in your house ready. So when you get home, you take a bath. Not because someone go to do anything bad to you or they're going to curse you. No, it's not that. It's that any Egun that is participating in that party could attach to you. because this is something that ODUN have. It's like a sponge for the bad ego. So constantly, you need to clean yourself, okay, and take some bath from time to time to avoid any problem. In this autumn, this autumn talk about the shelf or Obatala that he cooked for Obatala. And always when he finished his job, he went to dance because he liked the music, the women, and always he was in different parties. So his co-workers envy him and had a lot of yellows about his life because he didn't went to the market to get any food or anything like that. So they envy him and they start to talk with Obatala badly about him, that he doesn't want to work, that he also add salt to his food and so many things. One day Obatala, he was tired of this situation, so he called ODUN and told him, you know, you finish here, you don't go to work more for me. So he left the palace and he went for divination with Orumila. And Orumila recommended him to do the book with the bag and also the wallet. He take his bag and he went to the forest and always he collect different herbs and went to the market and sold all of them over there. Obatala, when he left the palace and he was around the village, he always saw a difference with his bag and with herb and, you know, selling all of them. So he said he's not a lazy guy. This guy is a hard worker. So he started to doubt about the information that the co-worker gave him. So one day he decided to put the sign in the palace and in different places of the village that he needs someone to work in palace. And even though Edibre felt bad about his situation, he went to palace and Obatala, everyone that went to palace to try to get that job, he said, you don't qualify. Left, you don't qualify. Left, you don't qualify. With everyone until Edibre was there and told him, you will have the job. And Edibre said, wherever you want, then I do in Paris, I'm going to do it. But Obatala, that he knew that his servants betrayed him, told all of them, you need to leave the palace and put ODUN, the boss of the rest of the people that work for him. So what this ODUN is telling you, you need to be careful at work. Don't hang it out after you finish your job with anyone because later they're going to talk about you. That you drink, that you do this, that you do that. So try to keep your co-workers like co-workers. The co-workers are not your friends. More if you have the position at work. Try to don't miss that. It's like the relationship. If you are at work, for example, try to don't have any relationship with any person that works with you because later it will be a problem. Avoid that. Something else in this autumn that is important too, from time to time go to the market, okay, with your bag and buy some fruit, cook something for a batala, for example, the rice pudding. You can make the Nyang Tower because this autumn talk about the person that cooked for Obatala. So Obatala in this autumn is the king of the king. He likes everything clean around him. So if anytime that you serve Obatala, you go to receive his blessing. even though you crown another Orisha, try always to put something to Obatala. Something else that is important in this Odun is to avoid the salt, because the salt is not good for you. You can have, for example, the high blood pressure and all of that. So try to avoid the salt. But in the case that you are like Obatala, that you are the boss in any place, when people approach to you and they want to give you information about any person that work for you, analyze first. Don't take any decision until you don't be sure that it's true, because you can do something that later you can regret it. Because people in this Odun, they envy everything. So you could be the boss and they want to destroy, the people that work for you, because they maybe like you, like a boss and all of that. So in any position that you are at work, avoid that. Just do your job, and after that, you can do what you like, whatever you want to do. This is something that is good to know in this Odun. In this Odun was born the transmission of the sound, the drums, the music. The person that has UNLE, is important that always have music around, because here the drummer is important, because he became in the drummer of the king of the palace, because Chango helped him to get that position. And in another Patakin, Chango has problem with the Congo. The Yoruba and the Congo have a lot of problems, and they attack the Yoruba. So Chango, that he went for divination, and Orumila recommended him to play the drum for all of them, start to play with his army. And the Congo, that they like the music, they start to dance. And in addition of that, Chango provide them with OT, a lot of OT, rum, for all of them, and they start to drink. So they got drunk, and when Chango saw that they were out of combat, told his army, now we're going to attack them. And in that way, they, defeat the Congos. So it's important in this Odun to play. Sometimes, to let you know, you play for the spirits, because it depends how the Odun came. Who came, for example, in Osobo or on Ire, and it depends also on the origin. Because in this Odun, or the UNLE, comes in Chango, you are supposed to play the drum for Chango when you need it. Of course, first you need to play to your godmother, to your newborn, all of that. But when you have problem, you play for Chango. In case that you have this Odun in Chango. Sometimes the person have this Odun, for example, in Chango, in Oya. The Oriate recommend on according to the Odun, that you need to play for the spirit. So this is the Odun that one day you can play for the spiritual cajon, for example, for your spirit. You can do a party for them, or you can play for your Congos. Also, you can play Guiro and Fundamento. But the most importantly is to play, make a party. But what happened with this? Most of the time when the people going to play, for example, for the spirit, they do the mass before the drum started, but they cannot be focused in the party, in the mass, because after that they have the party. Then I do recommend you is that do the mass for it 1 week in advance. And then the day of the party, you just do a regular mass just to accomplish that part. You open it, you play, and you can enjoy the drums for your spirits. Because most of the time, the person that do this kind of party cannot enjoy it. If you do, for example, for any Orisha, my family, we feed everyone. We have a lot of pastries, food, everything for everyone. However, the Orishas didn't eat. So when you go to play for any Orisha, I do recommend you that feed the Orisha, even if you don't have enough money with feathers. You can give a Chango, for example, 2 roosters with their 2 quails. And with that, it's enough. But you feed your Orisha, for example, 2 weeks before the drums. You make the acheses, not a bow, make the acheses, because now any ceremony that we want to do is to clean the person and dismiss the animals. Don't do that. Do the acheses, put the acheses for Chango for 3 days with his candles and everything, flower, whatever you want to put around Chango, and then after that, you remove, and then 2 weeks later is when you go to play for Chango. It will be so great for you because Chango here defeat the Congos with the drum. So it's important for you, you have ODUN at least each 2 years, play for anything that you want, anything that you feel comfortable with, do it. And it will be great for you in your religious life. Also, ODUN talk about the memory. And this is the ODUN that we are supposed to write down everything that is important for us. Because in this ODUN always he was sit down outside the palace by the door, even though he went Babalawo. But the king got so sick, and the other Babalawos that went around him tried to cure the king, but they didn't get any solution for it. So one day they had a ceremony and they left the palace. And the king said, call a Dibere that always he sit down by the door. And they called a Dibere. When they called a Dibere, he told the king, I'm going to kill you. And he went to the forest and grabbed different herbs and went back to palace. And with it, he cured the king. When the rest of the Babalawos returned from the ceremony, they said, this is impossible. We were working so hard to cure the king and we didn't have any solution. And asked him, what else do you use? And he said, I don't remember. And they didn't believe him, but the reality was that he didn't remember. So what happened with that? I always told the people in the community and my God kids that it's important to write down everything that worked for you because all of us are different. And sometimes you drink with different herbs or someone recommend you different herbs and you do the ceremony and you feel so great with that, but you don't write down. So what happened? That later, when you want to remember what kind of herb you use, you don't know. So anything that you do in the religion that is good for you, you need to have the notebook, the religious notebook, and write down everything that works for you. Because something that if you have a giver that works for you, maybe doesn't work for someone else that has the same order. Because you have different energy. So everything is important to write it. It also, when you feel a little torment to have different situations, go and get the rogation. In ODUN, because of the memory, you are supposed to have different rogation during a year. Don't have to be every single month or every 2 months when you feel like it. Because you have a lot of responsibilities in your life, you say, okay, let me go to see my godfather to get a relation. Why I'm telling you this? Because some people have this ODUN and they talk with me. You know, I don't feel good. My head sometimes have prayer. I said, what ODUN do you have? I said, no, I have this ODUN of the UNLE. I said, and do you have the relation? No. Go to your godparents' house and get the relation. You need to know, my family, that most of the time, the godparents cannot remember everything that came out in your ITA. ITA is the responsibility of the person. So you need to learn about the ODUN that you have in order to take care of yourself. Because your godparents, they have their own ODUN. They have their own problem. They have another godkid. So they cannot tell you, hey, you need a relation this month. Hey, you need this. So it's you that you need to take care of all of that. So try to do it and you will see that will be great for you. If you have any comment or any question, you can do it, okay? The Q&A always is open for everyone. What happened also in ODUN? This is the ODUN that the farmer, he helped Orumila because his godkid called him for reading. But Orumila, he didn't find the way. So the farmer that he knew about the area, he told Orumila, I'm going to help you. And then when you finish the job, you pay me. And Orumila, he was agree with that. So he started to work and do different readings and bosses and all of that. And when he finished, the farmer said, oh, you made a lot of money. So now you can pay me more. And Orumila was agree with him and he paid more. But at the same time, he saw that the farmer's wife was pregnant. So he gave him $8, for example. And later, when he left, he dropped the equity. And the equity marked this ODUN a different. And he told her, you know, you need to do an ebo with different animals and pay me 16. The wife of the farmer told him, you know, he wants to rob me. First he gave me $8 and now he wants 16 and in addition of that animal. So she didn't want to do the ebo. So Orumila said, okay, and he left. By the time that she had to give birth, her baby, she had a lot of problems at that moment. And the farmer went to see Orumila to do something for his wife. And Orumila told him, it's too late. Now we cannot do anything. And she passed away. So what happened in this ODUN? The woman that is pregnant and have this ODUN, you are supposed to do an ebo before you get your kid. So in the ODUN that your kid had a lot of blessing. So sometimes you could have problem. Let me see. Believe. Let me see. Let me see this comment that is nice. Believe. Okay. Yes. All right, I believe. Okay. When we talk about you asking me about to feed you Ochun, you are telling me with feathers, no? Please clarify this for me to complete the answer. It is with feathers. So what happened? That she passed away. If you have this ODUN, you are supposed to do different ceremonies and bosses, even though could be a simple bow. Could be an bow, for example, with the pumpkin. You take the pumpkin and you clean, you wound, and you put this pumpkin next to Ochun. You are doing an ebo because you are cleaning yourself with the pumpkin. It's, for example, with fruit, with something, but you need to get clean before you deliver your baby. If you have to get fired, then the Babalawo or an Oriate try to get a reading to know you have to do something during this period of time. Okay, it's important in this order that you take care of that. Something else, if you go for divination and you have this order like belief is telling me in Ochun, and they mark an ebo for you, do it. Because when you go for divination, it's because you need an ebo. So do the ebo. Sometimes the people don't want to do the ebo as soon as they get the reading. They say, okay, I'll go to do the ebo later. And they start to procrastinate the ebo until they have problem. No, we need to avoid the problem. So we need to do, tell me, yes, believe. You can ask any word, even though don't have pinando, can feed you or your legua with feathers and also your chum. It is not a problem. But try to put the chests for her. Try to put the chests for the chum. But you can do it. To offer feathers to our orichas, you don't need a pinando. No, the pinando when we're going to feed with follet is different because we have an ita, but with feathers. If you have any sibling in orchard that have the knowledge and can feed your legua and your chung with feathers, you can do it. That it is not a problem at all. So this is and thank you, Billy, for the question. So it's important in this autumn that always you do that. The person that, for example, are doing readings or ceremonies, never let the people know the money that you make. Because you see here Orumila, he was making a lot of money because he had a lot of that kid, but also it's a lot of job. So people see the high places, sometimes the oriateses, thank you, Luis Martinez, thank you so much. Thank you to Luis Martinez from Venezuela. The main money working is a hard work. It's a lot of hours, and also we need to study a lot to work with the riches. So what happened that you are telling this to the people in a good way? They want that you pay more, and they want to take advantage of you, like happened with Orumila here. So it's important that you don't let people know the money that you make, even at work. This is something that is private for you. You don't have to share. You don't have to share this with anyone. Okay? Thank you, Luis Martinez. This is the Odun. Here they talk about Chango, Orumila, and Osain Tiwi la Mufiyegua. Here in this Odun, Osain always, he was working, doing witchcraft for the community. Always he was sending egum and different things. He didn't have any progress in his life. He always was dirty and with different situations. And then one day he saw Chango in the market, and he told Chango, wow, you look so beautiful. Always you are clean and elegant. Chango said, because I changed my life. Before I was working a lot with the witchcraft and all of that, but I don't do that anymore. So my life changed. But Osain told him I have problem with Orumila. So that's why I'm doing that, to work against everything that he does. And Chango said, I'm going to speak with Orumila, and you need also to speak with him and work together. So if you help Orumila, Orumila goes to help you. And Chango, he mediates that problem between both of them. Wow, MAFEREFUN. MAFEREFUN OBATALA, Luis. MAFEREFUN OBATALA. Even though you have that ODUN in Elegua, you have Clan OBATALA, MAFEREFUN OBATALA in UNLE. Congratulations. So, what happened that automatically Osain changed his life? So, this is the reason that the person in Edibere, that the 7 powers of Africa, you have the knowledge to work with everything. You can work with Osain, like I was talking before. You can work with Yupat, for example. You have Sarabanda, Citerrayo. I know people that have Edibere, that they are great paleros. They know a lot about Mayombe. But even though you have that knowledge, it's not that you have to work always for back. Some people, when they go to see you, they always are asking about witchcraft against San Juan. And this is not good for you. So if you work in the good way, you won't have any problem in your life. It's like, for example, you need to receive your Osain. Like, for example, here, Luis, that he has crown OBATALA. He can receive Osain. He can get a scratch in Osain. But Luis, he goes to learn how to work good with Osain, because most people in our religion, they think that Osain is always to send Osain against anyone. I'm going to break the leg of someone with Osain. I'm going to do this with Osain. Osain is the doctor that works with the earth. He's the owner of the forest. In the forest, there are good earth and bad earth too. But Osain gets famous working in the good thing, curing people. The first doctors that we have in our religion, all of them were Osainistas, that they cured people with earth. For example, in my country, in Cuba, a lot of people that work in the forest, that they have Osain. When you have a pimple in your skin, for example, or you have headache, they grab some earth, and with that earth, they cure us when we were a child. So it's important to learn for good, don't learn for bad. At least you have to defend yourself against anyone, or you have to defend, for example, you got child, that you got child have a problem with someone, and then it's when you ask Osain if you can do some different work with him. So this is the Odun, that even though you will have a lot of knowledge about Osain, about Palo, try to work in the good way. Something else that I do recommend you, when you are working with Osain, prepare a bath. Any bath. We could be with, even with white flowers, cascarilla, holy water. And after you finish, you take a bath to refresh your energy, because you can carry all the energy of the path of the or Osain to you, and this is something that is not good, because the next day you will feel so tired. When you work a lot with Osain, you feel so tired. I have Osain, and I work with Osain a lot, and also with Sarabanda, with Citerrayo, with all of them. But I try always to work for good things, so I don't have any problem with my guardian angel, with Jenaya, or my father. I don't have any problem, because I try always to work for good. When I am going to work for something that it really, that I need to put my hand in, because I cannot avoid that situation. Okay, last week, la semana pasada fue en español, Luis. Esto es para Luis, para los que no entiendan bien Este es en inglés, por eso no entiende algunas cosas. Pero bueno, ya hay un video en Ochareo Live directas, que es de este mismo signo, que fue la semana pasada, que fue en español. So, if you do that, you won't have any problem. So, try to avoid to go always for backward or side. This Odun taught you about the eagle. The eagle, at some moment in his life, he was the messenger of Olofi. So Olofi always take care of the eagle, and the eagle was the great bear. So the eagle, he got so arrogant, and he didn't want to that anyone else had knowledge around. So every single baby that were born at that time, he eat that baby because he didn't want that anyone grow up in that village with the knowledge that he had. But one day, Olofi asked him for one feather, and he had all the privilege from Olofi. What happened that the eagle denied to that. He said, no, I don't want to give you any feather. So at the same time, Olofi's daughter, she was pregnant, and he called all the Orishas to do a ceremony for his godson because he was the guy. And then what happened that when she gave birth, the eagle want to eat that baby too, but the Orishas told Olofi about that situation. So Olofi told the old Orishas, and what happened that they wait, and when the eagle show up in Olofi Palace, all of them took the eagle and killed it. So this Odun is telling us that even though you have a great position because you have a delivery in your life, you're going to achieve a great position. Try to be humble. And sometimes we need to serve people. Sometimes we need to help someone. Don't be arrogant, even though you have this Odun. Even though you are a high priest, try always to be humble, to receive the best of Olofi. This is the Odun also that you need feathers for different earths, just feathers. Okay? And this will be great for you in your house. Try always when your wife is pregnant, for example, in the case of the man or a woman are pregnant, to do again, I repeat that, ceremonies in the womb of the woman. Because here, like this Patakin told us, the Olofi daughter had ceremony in her womb before her baby was born. So this is the Odun sometimes that through the mother, the kid needs to receive the Awofaka of Orumila. If it's a boy, or Ikofa is the girl, even though didn't born at that time. Before the kid, the mother, delivered the baby, they do the ceremony through the mother. This is one of the Odun that talk about that the blessing of the mother always follow you since you were in her womb. So if you do that, you will be okay. Okay, thank you. All of you have any question now, it's the time to do the question. Thank you, Luis Martinez. Eldu, Believe. Thank you for the question. It was a great question. If you have any question now that we have finished our Michelle de Souza, Victor Mejia, Fernando Allende, all the people that connect and make the comment, thank you. This is good for us in our channel, over to talk about different questions that you have is something that is important for us. So if you don't have any question now, have a great week. Next week, no, the following one, we have another live stream that will be in Spanish. So la próxima directa va a ser en español. Yo siempre lo anuncio en Facebook, en TikTok, la directa que vamos a hacer sobre qué orichas, los orichas que hablan. O sea, the next one will be in Spanish. I always announce the live stream in TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and it's from Bell that you can follow me in that the social media. And the following one is about the same audio but in English. Remember, when I do in Spanish, the next one is in English. That you have a nice week with health, faith, a lot of faith, and prosperity. Ya tú sabes. Oh, chareo.